So it's when you leave your container and you manage to escape to the host machine, the node itself.
I think a container escape addresses misunderstanding that a lot of people have, that containers actually contain things, and they're not great at that.
Because that's what I thought. The first time people said a container escape, like, you're taking out shit? Like, what are you doing from it? But yeah, you're right.
And I mean, it can be running in its own namespace, and you have this sort of illusion of security. And I think a lot of people see a container as a rigid security boundary. But if you're not applying specific configurations to make that happen, and you're not looking for potential ways to bypass those, then you're probably not actually going to contain things. And I think one really good example is if you have a Docker file for a container and you're building this container and you haven't specified a user for it to run as, it's going to run as root. And so if you can find any way of getting out of that container, you're now root on the host that it's running on. And so that's a big problem. And so any container escape is where you're breaking that illusion that the container is actually containing things.